Bonjour tout le monde et bienvenue. Welcome to our second semester of French 1 for the R7 Online Academy. Some of you are returning and some of you are brand new, so I wanted to go through and look at our procedures on a daily/weekly basis. So this video is going to show you about what you're going to need to do every day. Some of you are already familiar with these procedures or should be, but you could probably use a refresher. And since some of you are brand new, I'm going to keep it fairly short. So I'm going to show you some stuff today, and then I'll show you some other stuff next week. But typically you can count on a video from me every single day. So when you come into class on a given day, the first thing you're going to do is, if it's available, watch my video. If it's not available yet, I apologize. Sometimes I don't get them up until the middle of the day. I'll record them in the morning, but sometimes the processing takes a little more time than others. So the video will be there by midday. If it's not there yet, you can move on to something else. So let's talk about how to get to that video. At the top of your Schoology feed will always be this red folder that's called Cette Semaine, this week. So Cette Semaine is where you're going to find the materials for a given week. This is just a 2-day week, so it's very short. Typically, you're going to have some announcements on the outside of the folder here. So this is just telling you what you have to do this week. The first thing is watching this video and getting a more in-depth or getting a first glance at what our procedures are weekly. And then the second thing is an actual assignment that's going to be bringing you back to the holiday spirit. It happens to be about a Christmas tree, but we ran out of time. So last semester got a little short on us, so we're going to finish it up this semester, today and tomorrow. You'll have that available. So we're going to click on the Cette Semaine folder. And within that folder, you will usually see our slides for the week. I'll talk more about that next week because we don't have slides this week because it's only 2 days. But typically you're going to have a slideshow with slides for lundi, mardi, mercredi, jeudi, vendredi, each day of the week. And the slides will walk you through exactly what you need to do for that week. Today, there are not slides. Tomorrow, there won't be slides because it's a 2-day week. So watching this video and getting a good understanding of our Schoology page, our Schoology course, and also doing this one assignment are the only things you need to do. So when I've uploaded this video, it will also be within this folder. So for the assignment, it's pretty simple. You're going to click here. This is going to bring you to a Google form. You'll put in your information, R7 Online, and then you're going to watch me tell a story about Le Sapin Méchant. I go through and I talk about the story itself. I tell the story itself. I give some help with vocabulary, etc. And then this is the actual short film that my storytelling is from. So I want you to watch both. I want you to watch my storytelling in French, then the short film, which has very little dialogue, but what little dialogue there is in English. And then I want you to go through and answer these questions based on the story. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. There's not a whole lot that you need to worry about here. And this is the only actual thing you need to submit. Now, you're submitting it right in this Google form. There is not a Schoology assignment for this, so just keep that in mind. All right, so that's for this week. You'll watch this video, you'll look at this, you'll familiarize yourself with our Schoology course, and that's all you need to do. So our Schoology course, at the top, I always have this little Schoology classroom thing. It has the vocabulary for whatever story we're on. So our next story, after we look at this Christmas tree thing, is going to be called La Pizza Mystérieuse. Sounds a little bit funny, mysterious pizza, but you'll understand soon. So these are the vocab words we're going to need to know. These are les mots de passe. If you're coming from Madame McKinney or Madame Jonet's class, I think they usually call it le mot secret. Le mot de passe is the same thing. It's just the password. They call it the secret word for the week. So these are the ones we've had thus far. Our one for this week is bonne année. We'll get to that more when I have the video and the slides for next week. So these buttons up here, this brings you just to our syllabus. It can give you more information about our class. There's also basic course information down here, so feel free to peruse that at your leisure. Late work form. This is super important. Anytime there is an item in PowerSchool where you have a 0, that means I've already put grades in for that item. So if you do the work late, I need to know that you've done the work so I can go back and look for that and put a grade in for you. So filling out this late work form is the way that you can tell me, hey, I've done this assignment. I am very lenient about late work because this is a self-paced asynchronous class. I leave it up to you to get all the work done. Now, the natural consequence if you don't do your work on the day it's supposed to be done is that it's going to pile up. So you don't want to get yourself in a situation where you have a ton of French stuff to do when you probably have lots of other stuff to do too. So make a time for this class within your day and you won't need to bother with this. But if you do have late work, it's imperative that you fill out a late work form so I know that you've done something and can therefore go back and grade it. Weekly check-in, I'm going to have you do this once in a while. It just tells me how you're doing. It just is going to ask about how you're doing, how you feel like you're doing in class. Are you feeling like you're understanding things? But then also it's a way for me to check in with you personally and see if there's anything going on that maybe you want to vent about or just tell somebody about, or just something that you're excited about you want me to know. It's a good way for me to get to know you at least a little bit, even though we don't see each other face to face. This is your Quizlet link. This will take you to all of our vocab that we've had so far. It's a great way to practice. And then this listening quiz form, we won't use a whole lot. I'll let you know when we do use it. Don't worry about it for now. At the top of your feed, you always have this master vocab list. It has more vocab in it than we've learned so far, but it's a good resource. And then here are all of our stories that we've had. It'll have all the stories for first semester as well as the ones that will begin this semester. And then here you have your listening quizzes folder. If you have a listening quiz that you need to do, it is going to be in this folder. So again, this is usually where you're going to go if you didn't complete a quiz the week that it was assigned. So quizzes are going to be assigned in a given week, in a given day, and that's where those slides come in I was telling you about. You'll see a Schoology assignment actually with the quiz in the folder for the day the quiz was assigned. But if you miss that, rather than having to go back and find that folder, I just have this listening quizzes folder here where you can get to it. We'll talk more about this later because I don't know. I imagine my students from last semester, surely you know what a listening quiz is, assuming that you were in Madame Jaunet or Madame McKinney's class last semester, you would also know what that is. If you don't know what it is yet because you're coming from a different situation, don't worry about it. We'll talk more about it later. All right, I'm coming up on 8.5 minutes here. So if you've stuck with me so far, merci. That's all we're gonna go over for today. Watching this video and finishing this one assignment are the only things you need to do. If you want any help or clarification, I will be on the Google Meet Miche on French online for today from 11:30 to 12, or you're welcome to email me and we can meet separately from that if that time period does not work for you. Okay, au revoir, merci, à demain.